What's good, boys? Nick Dorenzo here, and I'm just walking out of the gym now. And, as I leave the gym, I'm just reminded by all of the memories, all the flashbacks, all the times to where I really thought I was never going to recover. To all the times where I thought I was the only person in the whole entire world that was going through what I was going through. To all the times to where I genuinely thought I was never going to feel real again. I remember walking into the gym feeling like I was the only person in the whole entire world that felt the way I did. Like, I genuinely remember the feeling of walking into the gym, not even feeling like I was in my own body, not feeling like I could recognize anyone or anything around me, having intrusive existential thoughts, looking at all the visual symptoms I had and just questioning everything about my reality. But it's like, that is where I gained the most amount of strength I've ever gained in my whole entire life. That is where I was created and sculpted into the version I am today. That is where I found myself, because truthfully, the gym was the one thing in this life that I could control when I was in the derealization state. I remember thinking, I was like, I genuinely didn't feel anything at all. I felt numb to everything, and I was like, if I could just continue to go to the gym, if I could continue to progress in this one area, if I could continue to control the things that I can control, which was eating right, which was just getting one rep stronger every single time. If I could just focus on this one thing, maybe one day, if I ever got my life back, if God ever gave me my life back, I would have a temple, a physique, a body that I built through all the stress, all the hardship, all the pain, all the times where I was like, fuck, am I ever gonna come back? To where I was like, God, why did you give me this? Like, God, can I please ever come back to this life? All those times to where I would just question everything, thinking I was the outlier, thinking I was the one person that wouldn't recover. All those times to where I was like, I'm the exception. All those times, if I would have gave up on myself, if I would have not followed through, do you think I would have been where I am now? Do you think I would have had the temple, the trophy that I built now? Not at all. And truthfully, if I wouldn't have went through derealization in the first place, I wouldn't have even started this fitness journey. I wouldn't have started anything. I would have been drinking probably right now. It's 8:48 on a Saturday night. I would have been wasting my life away. I would have been not on purpose, nothing going for me, unfulfilled, going into a dark void of emptiness. But now I wake up with so much ambition because of the struggles God gave me. A lot of times we pray to God, we ask Him for things, and instead of Him giving us what we want, He gives us what we need to go become the man that can go get what we want. I went through so much pain during this period of my life to where I genuinely just didn't feel anymore, and I was so scared of death but scared of living, and I was like, the one thing I can do right now is to go to the gym. Sometimes it wouldn't feel like I was in my own body, but I would just move that weight. I still could do it regardless. And what this did to me was it showed me that no matter how bad I feel, no matter how severe and debilitating my symptoms are, I can still progress towards my goals. I can still progress towards the life I want to live. I can still progress towards a life that is greater than, who I am now. And I tell all of my clients and everyone that, you need to, when it comes to recovering, you need to not just become a one of one, but become a one of zero, because you're proving to the version of yourself before derealization someone that he can't even comprehend. Because truthfully, when you go through a struggle like derealization, you are forced to be humble. You're forced to develop this discipline, this unwavering amounts of discipline. It's either that or you give up on life. That's the state I was in. I was like, it's either I could develop this discipline, or I'm just gonna live in this state forever. And that's the moment where I was like, I'm never gonna turn back. I promised to God, I said, hey, I am never going to take another day for granted. I became Every single day I would scare myself in the mirror in the gym, but I always knew that one day my physique, my tempo would be there when I finally came back. And I'm fully recovered now, and it's like I look at my life, I look in the mirror and I look at my physique, my dream physique, and it's more than just my physique. It is the tempo I built through all the stress, all the times to where I genuinely thought my life was over. I genuinely thought I fucked my life up from smoking weed, doing all the things that got me in that state. I genuinely thought that I did it to myself during this time, and there was so much regret, there was so much shame. But I just kept doing it, I kept pushing it, I kept going, and I never, ever, since the day I made that promise, I've never missed a workout. I've never even missed a pre-workout meal. I've never missed carbing up before my workout. I've never missed a post-workout. I hit everything. I squeeze it in at work. I have this obsession, this OCD for success. I replaced my derealization OCD and put it into my self-improvement. I am obsessed with my purpose, my business, helping other people, making an impact on life, fulfilling my God-given purpose, fulfilling my God-given credo, becoming the man that I was meant to become, not who I thought one point I wanted, but what I needed for myself, what the world needs me for, because every single one of you guys is put on this earth for a reason. And a lot of times it's hard to see the path that God has set out for us. But when you have that faith, when you trust in the word, when you trust yourself, God, in the path, in the process of full recovery, you can start to detach, realize that your days aren't judged based off of how you feel. They're not judged based off of emotion. No. They're judged based off of the progress that you're making towards your purpose. They're judged based off the impact you're having to others in this life. They're judged based off of what is actually happening towards your success. And a lot of times we get in this trap, we get in this state of being stressed over made up things. And derealization is nothing more than a made up thought. And when you realize this, you start to understand that your purpose is not only supposed to come on the forefront of all pleasures in your life, but it's supposed to come on the forefront of derealization. Because when you are so focused in on your God-given purpose, DPDR, derealization, anxiety has no impact on your life, because you realize that even if you were to have this state for the rest of your life, you would still fulfill that purpose. But that's the mindset you need to get into. When you can be in this state, when you can feel this state truthfully, and not just fake it, like genuinely feel this emotion that I'm talking to you guys about, you will recover. And it's not a maybe, it's not you might recover, it's not in like if, it's a when. You will 100% recover if you can knock in this feeling, if you can knock in this mindset. I'm telling you guys, and I'm speaking this from the heart, because I understand the depths of this condition. It's like on paper, your life could look perfect, but all you want to do is just to feel anything again. I remember just like, this sounds horrible, but I wish I'd be like in the hospital for something physical, because my mental mind was gone. But I'm telling you right now, thank God you were given this struggle, because it's 100% safe. It is the most safe struggle, condition, thing that you can have. It is beyond safe. And by you experiencing this, you're forced to dive deep into the person that you are. You're forced to dive deep into the man that you truly are. So when you dive deep into yourself, you find a life that you are truly meant to live, and nothing is more fulfilling than going to bed knowing that you are getting closer towards those goals. Right now it is 8:54 p.m. at night. This whole day was the one day where I didn't post an Instagram story. I post usually 15, 20 a day. I document every single day. It was the one day because my Instagram isn't working. It's not letting me post anything. I've tried everything. I spent over 5 hours today trying to fix it. You know how shitty I feel going to bed because I'm not driving the needle towards my purpose? That is how you need to anchor in your purpose, your vision. It's the smallest things that make me so offsetting when it comes to like me driving the needle forward towards my purpose. It's everything. It's the smallest thing that makes me go insane, because I genuinely know that there's someone else in the same shoes that I am that is driving that needle forward, that is making progress. And I care so much about progressing that I genuinely need every single cup in my life to be overflowing. Everything, my physique, my financial situation, my relationships, everything needs to be maximized. Do you think I would have had this mindset to excel in life if it wasn't for derealization? Hell no. I would have been in the same exact state that I used to be in. Waking up, watching porn, sleeping in, doing nothing. Now I wake up with the ambition, the gratitude to attack my day. Every single day on my ceiling, it says, I wake up motivated. I am a one of one. And, my contacts aren't in. I can't technically see. I know how to start my fucking day because I tell myself the identity I want to be, not the identity that I currently am, because it's not who I am, it's where I am. And in order for me to become the person that I need to become, I need to completely morph myself into the identity that I started morphing myself into when I was in DPDR. And now that I'm recovered, I'm the closest I've ever been. And it's like, that's how you need to become. You need to become that person now, today, by controlling the things you can control. So, this was a pretty damn good video. I'm speaking from the heart. This is energy transfer to define us. I'm trying to get you guys to understand, the person you need to become, the things you can control, because you can recover and you will can recover, and we're all in this together. If you want to book a call, links in the description below. I'm only taking a few per month because I want the ambitious men who are willing to actually recover and want more than just recovery, actually have a purpose in their life. Instagram is going to be in the bio. You can connect with me on there. Usually I post stories all day from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. So much value on there. We're all in this together. We're all recovering together. It's a brotherhood, freedom from within. Freedom comes from within and nothing more. So, catch you boys. Peace.